Hello, wonderful science and psychology teachers. Welcome to the science workshop. My name is Melissa Thomas, for those who don't know. I do a little bit of work at VU in the Masters of Teaching program as well as the undergrad program. But I am a secondary educator as well. Currently, I'm on family leave and doing some work from VU, which is really convenient for me at the moment, and I'm absolutely loving it. So, a little bit about me and where I've come from. I have taught mainly in the western suburbs, and my two specializations are chemistry and psychology. I chose that a little bit strategic in terms of job prospects. I chose psychology because I loved it, okay, and I majored in it. And I also majored in chemistry. And I thought instead of choosing science as my major, I would choose chemistry, and schools would probably just see me as a science teacher and employ me in, 7 to 10 general science anyway. And I was right. My first job was a science job. I didn't teach chemistry or psychology for the first couple of years. And I taught science. And because you're a science teacher, I also taught maths. So be prepared for that. Although I really enjoyed teaching maths as well. I have taught a number of other subjects like sport and numeracy as well, and literacy. We have a numeracy and literacy program at the school, so I've taught those programs as well. I've had a couple of leadership roles in my time as a secondary teacher. I was Year 7 coordinator for a number of years, which I absolutely loved that role. It taught me a lot about, I suppose getting to know your students and the different experiences they bring along with them. And numeracy coordinator as well. I was involved with another colleague of creating and implementing a new numeracy program into our school. So at the time where numeracy programs were being kind of rolled out in Western schools to improve the outcomes of our students in terms of literacy and numeracy. So I was involved in leading that with another colleague. And we found that very effective in improving student outcomes in both literacy and numeracy. Our NAPLAN data improved considerably as a result of those two programs. I have had a number of roles with VCAA. So as a science teacher, if you get, and a psychology teacher, if you get the option to teach at the VCE level, especially Year 11 and 12, I would really recommend you to, get involved with the VCAA as much as you can in various roles. I was, or I am, a psychology assessor for many years, and I have developed some of the psych exams in the past, and been the psychology auditor, in the past. All of which have taught me a great deal about the system, in terms of just fair and equity assessment, but also, what are the focal points of an exam, for an example, and what should I focus on and to what extent. And it just taught me a great deal about VCE, and I really recommend you getting involved if you can. So these workshops, workshop 1, I've chosen a few tasks and activities that I think are the kind of most important, looking at differentiation, lesson structure, and literacy as well in science classroom. And then workshop 2, if you're doing that one, then I've got a unit plan for you, and a couple of videos helping you to explain assessment 2. I suppose I would like to finish the video in terms of my number one piece of advice, is to make friends with very important people, including the lab staff, the lab technician. They do a lot for you, and you need a lot from them, and becoming friends with them is really important. Library staff as well, the science coordinator, and the daily organizer who can help you with room swaps, especially when we're dealing with labs and things like that and changing rooms. And when you're on placement, introduce yourself to these people, and what advice do they have for you? And lastly, let's start off with, I would usually do this in the classroom, a little bit of a brain break. You can look these up online. Sometimes they're called brain breaks, sometimes they're called brain gym. But they're starting to get the brain switched on and firing, because we know we can only concentrate for 20 minutes at a time. And they are highly engaging, quick 5-minute activities. So here we go. Here's one. This is from at the Berry Street model, actually, this one here. They've got a book full of brain breaks, and this is from one of theirs. Now, have one finger or one thumb, okay? And you switch them over so you are engaging both hemispheres of your brain and your corpus callosum at the same time. Apologies for my screaming child in the back. Oh, see, I didn't concentrate, and here we go. All right, and see if you can get faster and faster. Really, really good for the concentration and the brain. You can tell that I can't talk at the same time that I'm doing it. All right, brain switched on. Goodbye, good luck, and I hope you enjoy the workshops.